Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to our show. I'm here today with Katie Patille. Hope I said that right. And we're going to talk about, besides her journey in business and real estate, how she's helping investors, real estate agents, mortgage brokers. I mean, really all these guys grow their business. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business, providing tools and resources to grow the business they've always wanted to have, in turn, live that life they've always dreamed of. Katie, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm used to being on your side of the podcast realm, so being on this side, I feel like a fish out of water, but I'm so
Isn't
excited.
it sometimes like, because I do the same thing. I'll go on someone else's podcast and I'll just
Yes.
be kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. It's a
When I'm on the
strange
other side,
feeling.
I'm like telling that person, hey, come on, get crack it.
Right,
That's funny.
right. But I am so happy to be here, so thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on. And I'm excited to talk about and see how you're helping, investors, agents, and brokers grow business. I think that's important. But before we get into all that, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you, your background in business and real estate, and, what got you to today?
Yeah. Well, I am a mama first and foremost to the cutest 5-year-old that you'll ever meet. I'm not biased at all whatsoever in saying that.
Right.
Also have an amazing boyfriend who is my support system in everything that I do. So especially grateful for him. But aside from that, I started in real estate really right out of college as a loan officer. So I was on the mortgage side of things when I first started, for an online direct bank that was eventually acquired by Capital One. But if anyone knows the name ING Direct, that is where I started my
I've heard it.
journey. Yes, back in the day. We had a 5-in-1 arm, a 7-in-1, and a 10-year. So those were my only mortgage products that I had at my disposal. So needless to say, it was kind of thrown to the wolves in that scenario.
Right.
But it was great. It was a great learning experience. I actually loved it. It was a great company. Eventually, like I said, Capital One bought them out. And so it forced transitions to happen. And so I did bounce around a little bit in the mortgage world, which eventually led me to the title side of the business. I actually was fortunate enough that my title connection at the time was like, why don't you come over to the title side of the business? And showed me the ropes. And I mean, I loved all things real estate from the beginning. But once I got to this side of the business, I really, really just found my niche and just love and appreciate this side of things. So I've been on the title side of things for about 6 years now. And
Okay.
so that's been my journey in the real estate world in a nutshell.
What if you ever watch any of my podcasts, I like to go backwards. So what did you study in college?
I actually studied psychology.
Okay. Was there any, prior in your life influence in real estate, another real estate agent, maybe someone else that was in mortgage or lending or anything like that? Or, I mean, what kind of prompted the real estate or even mortgage path, or was it just you needed a job?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
It was such a fluke because no, I didn't have anyone in my life that was really involved in the real estate world. But I had a good friend of mine at the time that was already working for ING Direct, and they were hiring. And I had gone to college in North Carolina, but I live in Delaware. So I had recently moved back to Delaware. And so I was looking for a job. I knew absolutely nothing about mortgage at the time. And coming out of college was very vaguely familiar with things in real estate. So just went on a whim, went on the interview. It worked out, and it just ended up working out in the long run. I fell in love with it. So, but yeah, it was a fluke. It was not anything that had been part of my growing up or anyone that I knew at the time, etc. So
was it a struggle, or did it take a while to kind of learn all the terminology and kind of really pick up the way to, you're pitching these loans and do all that stuff? I mean, what was that like?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, especially having zero background in it. I mean, it was the epitome of fake it till you make it for a while,
Right.
I think. Mortgage especially, the guidelines, I mean, it's government regulated. I mean, it's not something you can take lightly. So there was a lot of pressure from that aspect, like making sure I am not screwing up one of the largest financial investments that people will make in their life.
Right.
But again, like there was something about it that I loved, and hopefully everyone that I worked with appreciated what I did at the time.
Right.
Yeah, it was daunting in the beginning, and real estate is also one of those things that it is always changing, always evolving. Like I say all the time, you will never know it all. Like there is something new that comes across or comes up every day. And now I've been in the industry for, pushing 14 years. So, and I still think that. So it's just, you kind of got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, that's huge. I mean, you need to go out and you got to push yourself. How long were you doing mortgage? And then at what point did you switch to the title?
It was about 6 years that I switched to the title side of the business.
Okay. So you got into the title side, obviously another whole piece to learn.
Yeah.
How was that change? Like what type of, mindset shift, or was there anything you had to kind of maneuver in your world to adapt to the title now?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's differences, but to me, it was a positive change on the mortgage side of the business. I mean, you're typically working with a client for 30 to 45 days. And so your pipeline is just always, always, always needing to be essentially built from scratch, similar to a real estate agent. But on the title side of the business, I have the luxury of, I bring on a client, and ideally I keep that client for years. And that's really what I've done. I'm actually closing a loan for a client today that the very first job I had at ING Direct in the real estate industry, he was a coworker. So
Oh, wow.
I really appreciate that side of the business. On the title side, you get to maintain your clients long term. And so, I consider a lot of them friends more so than clients. I know their spouses and I know their kids' names. And so it also gives you the luxury of it not feeling so much like work because you enjoy, working with the people that you work with. So there was a learning curve, of course, learning title logistics. But I had a great team behind me because I actually started on the title side working for the company that I'm with now.
Okay.
So I have a great team of escrow officers behind me. I have direct access. My boss is the owner of the company and he always answers the phone. He is always just a text message or a call away. And so I really felt supported, that it actually felt less daunting than on the mortgage side, where it kind of
Hmm.
felt like it's all on me. Whereas here, I felt like I had this support system around me that, I just, there was less pressure that if I make.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Mistake that it's all on me. So
Yeah. Sometimes that's important to be able to have that support system to help you feel more comfortable to do the best that you possibly can.
right,
So
right,
let's talk a little bit about. I mean, so you're currently working for a title company, correct?
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And are you guys mainly working with investors? Are you working? I mean, who's your kind of your main avatar that you're working with, and like what are kind of some of the benefits that your title company provides?
So we have had to evolve over time. I would say, several years ago, the our primary client base was lenders. We were very, very refi heavy, as I'm sure a lot of title companies were when the refi business was so prominent.
Hmm.
Obviously, that took a very drastic shift, and so we obviously had to pivot as a result as well. So since then, I would say we primarily deal with real estate agents. We obviously are very well versed in the refi side still, but that volume just, it comes and goes. And so we're equipped to handle it well when it's there. And now we have a really great team that handles the purchase side of the business, which kind of transitioning to what you were saying before about what makes us different from other title companies. I have in the process worked with other title companies, and I will tell you there are some that are only meant to be refi title companies. On the purchase
Right.
side of the business, it is a completely different animal. And so I think we do a really good job here of being able to handle both. And the investor side of the business. I mean, investor business is probably one of the more complicated sides of the business. Not always, but a lot of the time. I mean, sometimes you're dealing with estates and heirs and, you know,
Hmm.
different things coming up on title. If there's ever a scenario where title might not be clean, if I'm picking between the three scenarios, an investor deal is most commonly the one
Oh,
where things
always.
might be a little hairy. But again, we have such an experienced team now that that's nothing for us anymore. So I'm very thankful for the company that I work for and the team that I have behind me to handle those transactions.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, a lot of companies, a lot of title companies I know, some of them don't even like to work with investors. Why do you think that is?
So I think it's kind of what I just said. If there's going to be a deal that's going to be complicated, take a lot of time, that it's usually going to be an investor deal.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of times also there are smaller deals, not again, not always, but a lot of times that's the case. And so it's kind of like, is the juice worth the squeeze
Yeah.
kind of thing for a lot of companies. I have always approached my business in that if you are willing to send me a deal, whether it is a deal for 50,000 or if it's a deal for 50 million, I appreciate that you chose me and my company over a million other options. And so I'm going to handle that deal with care and get it to the finish line smoothly, regardless of what the amount is. And I emphasize the same with my team every single day. So I think that is something that really makes a difference. I mean, it does take a special level of care and dedication to that deal. Like I said,
Hmm.
there's so many other moving parts typically with an investor deal. It just takes a lot more handholding and work to get it across the finish line smoothly. And I just think, again, because not all of those deals are large loan or transactions, I should say,
Right.
you don't make the same. And so I've witnessed it firsthand that they're not always prioritized.
Yeah.
So.
No, I've been told that they're not always prioritized. Do you guys deal with? I mean, I know a lot of title companies or escrow companies don't want to deal with like subject to type of deals or creative finance type of deals. I mean, is that stuff that you guys deal with?
Yes, so we do, but we do want to make sure that everyone understands what's happening in the transaction.
Sure.
Not all investors are the most forthcoming in all these transactions.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Come on. Stop pulling my leg.
Yeah, no, never heard of that.
Right.
So if as long as you are doing it the right way, everyone understands what's happening, then we would love to handle those transactions. But if you're trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes, I don't want to be a part of something that doesn't feel good holistically for everyone involved. Now, that said, you can do those deals and everyone be involved. Like sometimes you have someone that is just in a really bad situation and you are honestly doing them a favor by getting them out of that situation. And
Mm-hmm.
so they're thankful for it. And they understand that you may end up making more on this deal than you're necessarily giving them, but they also understand that you are also taking the headache away from them at the same
Right.
time. So, and that's a big part of it. I mean, it is investors can make the process so much easier and solve a problem for you when you're in a bad situation, like I said. So there is definitely a positive to it, but you just have to do it the right way. And if you're doing it the right
Yeah.
way, I would love to help you.
It's communication, right? I think anybody who's dealing with a seller, I mean, needs to have that clear and uncut communication because, like you said, it's going to make things go a lot smoother, avoid a lot of problems, right?
Exactly.
What are some of the mistakes you're seeing investors bring to title, right? If they have a deal, things they're leaving out, things they're not doing. I mean, what are some of those things you're seeing
I
commonly?
think I think mainly it's just not setting the correct expectations or trying to uh, over deliver and under promise things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, kind of what I was talking about, you have someone that you are flipping the deal to, you're an assignee situation, and you're just not clearly explaining to the seller what is happening as the holistic picture. So they're
Right.
only seeing your AB part of the transaction. They're not being explained the ABC part of the transaction. And so things can get a little hairy when you do things that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest mistake that I see investors making, which again, I think if you go into it with good intentions and you just genuinely explain to them what's happening from start to finish, then there's no surprises, there's no curveballs,
No.
and it just goes so much smoother. So,
Unless you plan to take it down. I mean, if you plan to take it down yourself, and then who cares what you do with it after that? The seller doesn't need to
right,
know. But as long
right,
as you fulfilling on the obligation, right, that and being
right,
fully transparent, that's where it needs to be.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
where does your business look like? Where's it growing? Where do you guys have plans to grow? What's going on with that?
So we're actually a national title company. So we are in almost all of the country. That being said, on the purchase side of the business, we're much more focused on East Coast because we're based out of Maryland. So
Hmm.
like the DMV region, Florida, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, that is kind of our primary source of uh, purchase business anyway, and on the investor front too. So that's really where our focus is. Our refi business is almost residual at this point. It's long-term clients that we've had forever that they send us those deals when they have them, kind of
Right.
thing. Obviously, it's
Awesome.
still not much of a refi market now. The cash out market has picked up quite a bit, but it's still not anywhere near what it used to be, obviously. So our focus is really just continuing to grow the real estate business, and by doing that, we really want to help real estate agents grow their business. So in turn, obviously, hopefully we're growing ours, win-win
Mm-hmm.
scenario, right? So we're just looking for other ways that we can help real estate agents, investors, and lenders grow their business. So
Okay.
um, one of the things that we've done recently, I've started a podcast myself. So I have real estate agents on it, lenders, soon to be investors. This is a very new venture. So, um,
What
but
prompted
the
you to want
goal,
to start a podcast, or what need did you see that needed to be filled?
I think that that is just where people's attention is going to, or if they want to learn something, that's where they're going. They're going to YouTube and watching podcasts to learn it
Mm,
and figure out how to do it. So if there is a new agent that wants to know, how do I become a better agent? How do I grow my business? They're turning to YouTube to find out ways to do that. Or if it's an investor or someone that wants to become an investor, they're going to YouTube to learn, how do I become an investor?
right.
How do I find the deals? All those things. And same with loan officers. So I'm like, there's got to be a way that we can help our agents get more exposure, and kind of fulfill both worlds. So
Okay.
that's where it came from.
Do you guys cover like any specific topics? Like, do you bring on maybe like any experts on something to share like some more knowledge with your listeners?
So right now I bring on real estate agents, lenders, and investors, and I kind of dive into how they got into the industry in the
Okay.
first place, and then what's really working for them, what challenges they're facing, what they wish they knew when they first got started, so that
Mm,
hopefully if people are just getting into the business or want to get into the business, they can learn from kind of their lessons learned along the way. And there's no gatekeeping, so they've been really forthcoming with what is working for them. So if someone wants to kind of try and imitate that in a way that feels organic to them, then they have the luxury to do that. So it's been great so far. Like I said, it is just getting started, but
right.
we've
How
gotten
many
really good
episodes have you
feedback.
done?
I have, I think, 8 episodes recorded. There's two over the last couple weeks that have actually gone live. So
Okay. So you're two away. Most people don't get to 10 podcasts.
really?
Yep. I read that somewhere. I don't remember where I read it, but most people who start a podcast never get to 10.
Well, I am determined to
Well,
keep
you're
it going.
there. You're right there. So, being what you just kind of said, what is some advice? What is some I wish I knew back when I started advice that you have for our listeners?
So the most recent agent that I had on, who also happens to be a client, she's a team lead for the Premier Group for Real Broker. She's only been in the business for roughly 3 years, but she's doing really, really well. And her biggest advice was, I'm 3 years in and I'm just now starting a CRM. She's like, so I can't remember all the details of those people that I was working with at the very
Mm,
beginning. And she's like, I just wish that I did that from the start. And now I'm having to backpedal and I lost so much data as a result. So that was one of her tips and tricks. Another agent, she focused more so on finding a specific niche that works for her. And she happens to be out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is obviously a big retirement area. And so her focus is working with seniors that are downsizing, and not just
nice.
the seniors themselves, but the entire family. She has like a whole estate program that she has developed for them. So, but she's just emphasizes, networking, finding your niche, getting out there into your community and things like that. So
Very cool.
I think that's the key, is finding what works for you that feels natural, because people don't like to work with people where it feels forced or fake. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it.
What are Katie's keys to success? Like, what has been your keys to get you where you are today?
I think communication is huge. Real estate is not a 9 to 5 at all whatsoever. So
No.
if that is the route or the job that you want, this is not the world for you.
No.
But I think just always being there to answer the phone is incredibly important. I think finding, again, what works for you, what feels natural for you, so that it doesn't, again, feel forced or fake, is a big part of it. And then I think just it has to be something that you genuinely love, because it is incredibly stressful sometimes. Every single side of this business is stressful. And so
Yeah.
if you don't genuinely love it, the burnout can be intense. So I think you just have to love it and find the people that you love working with so that it feels less like work in those stressful moments. So
No, 100%. If you, what's that they say? If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
100%. So true. So true.
If folks want to get in touch with you, they want to talk to you about, maybe they have some business or deals to do together. Who knows? But if people want to reach out and talk to you a little bit more about some of the stuff you shared today, how do they connect?
Well, I am on all forms of social media. My YouTube channel that I am desperately trying to grow as of recently is it's at your homegirl Katie. Instagram is the same thing, your homegirl underscore Katie. Facebook, I'm just my name, Katie Patille. And then my email is my first name, Katie at certifiedtitlecorp.com. So you're
Perfect.
welcome to reach out to me on any of those platforms.
Awesome. Guys, go check out her podcast. Let's grow some YouTube subscribers. Katie, thank you for coming on and spending some time with us. Loved your story. Guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast as well, and we will look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.